Hello, this is Manesh Patel from ichimokutrade.com. Today is August 6, 2012. It's our weekly Ichimoku analysis where we go for all the futures markets, where we cover for everything from crude oil, natural gas, heating oil, corn, all the commodity futures, lumber, sugar, bonds, everything out there. Okay, this is our normal disclaimer. This is for educational use only. If you have any particular all charts you're going to see are from Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade. Also the music you're hearing in background is from Guitaro. And here are my contact details here at info@eiicapital.com. You could go to our website under the education section, access any of our free videos there. You could also go to the website to access our email alerts, heat map for all particular markets out there from stocks, futures, and so forth. Any other things that you have, you pretty much can access from the ichimokutrade.com website. And if you have any questions, you can email us here at info@eiicapital.com. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through our heat map, and we're going to go for futures heat map here. Okay, I'm going to scroll down, and we're going to sit there, and look here. Okay, now on here, let's see if I can enlarge this, make it a little easier. There we go. Now over here, basically we're only going to look at daily and weeklies because we're looking for long-term trends. It doesn't matter, even as a day trader, you should be looking at the daily and weekly to kind of time it with the trends and kind of go against it. We're not looking at any counter trend at all in these videos. And what we're looking for first is the same color, basically green being bullish, red being bearish, between the daily and weekly. Once we have that, what we're looking for, 2s and 4s, are basically in the daily time frame, and the higher time frame, which is the weekly in this case, to be 2, 4, and 5. So if you scroll down this list, you have a 2 here, but it's a 3 here, so that doesn't qualify. So if you keep on scrolling down, basically the Dow right now is trending as far as the daily and weekly is concerned. One other thing I forgot to mention, the letters are in black here. That means it's not overextended. If they're in any other color, which is a gray, light blue, or yellow, that means they are overextended. We got 3 overextension levels. Okay, over here you got conflict between the daily and weekly, so definitely not interested there. S&P 500 is definitely bullish there, so we'll look at that one too, just on with the Dow. You got 2 5s here, that means it's already trending. 5-year Treasury notes already trending already, so nothing really to look at there. Nothing here. Keep on going down this list. There's a 5, but we need it to be a 2. There's frozen concentrate orange juices, which is bearish, so we'll definitely look at that one there. And just keep on going down this list, and there's nothing really much else going on besides Dow futures. So both the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P have multiple time frame buys in the daily and weekly right now, and then orange juice basically has a multiple time frame sell. So let's start going through all the futures here and start looking for each one of them. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go for the futures over here and start scrolling for each one. Remember, on the left hand side is basically the... Okay, so we're going to go down the futures list here. So first thing, let's go through from the very top. We want to go for cocoa futures here. If you look at cocoa futures here, it's starting a bullish trend here, starting to move up already, but if you look here, we basically touched the top of the cloud. So we're not really doing anything except consolidating between a huge range here on the weekly time frame. You can see that right now. So there's nothing really going as far as cocoa futures, even though the daily looks like it's starting to pull out. If this thing goes anywhere, it's going to go to the next major resistance, which is the top of the range at 24.76. Now, if it breaks that level, then it's going to be a whole different new story. But it's got to break that 24.76 level. So right now, you can day trade it to that 24.76 level, but I'll be very careful because we are at a minor resistance level right now. Support level on this one's going to be around 2,300 right now, moving forward as far as the daily is concerned. Crude oil, which has been a magical one for everyone here. I don't know why. Just because we've had this huge movement here doesn't mean the long-term trend is bullish. It's not at all. In fact, we're caught between 2 support resistance worlds. Support basically is going to be 85.27. Resistance is going to be a little above 93.54, and you can see that from the alert I have here. So until we make a decision on which way we're going to go above those, above that resistance level, below that support level, this thing is not going to trend for a long period of time at all. So right now we're going to go in big wide swings where we could go up and down a couple of points, but remember, because this range is pretty big, so either way there's no trend until we break those major support resistance levels moving forward. Cotton, as you can see, this is big downward move here. Things starting to move up here. Doesn't really mean anything because we're in the cloud, so we're basically consolidating. If you look at the weekly time frame, it's still a bearish trend right now. We're undergoing a medium pullback. Resistance level is going to be 80.25 moving forward. Support level is going to be 72 to 60 moving forward. Dollar. If you look at dollar, the daily looks just destroyed completely, and the reason why it's just going sideways completely here. As far as the weekly, it never really took off from breaking this resistance here. You could see it broke off, but then it kind of came back, broke off a little, and then kind of came back. So this resistance level is going to be a next nice little minor support, which is going to be 81.98 moving forward. However, the major support for this one is going to be 81.18 moving forward, and resistance is going to be 83.15. So really, this one's not going to do anything until it breaks those support resistance levels moving forward. We'll come back to dollar, gold in a minute. Feeder cattle here, you could see a nice little trend going downwards here after this little double top here on the daily time frame here. A lot of people looking at that, but it did sit there, and once it broke 152, this thing just sit there and didn't look back at all, and just kept on going downwards. And you could see here, this was a bullish trend here. It's under gauge, it's major pullback right now. Believe it or not, this bullish trend is still intact. This is just a pullback right now, a major pullback for this particular currency, for this particular instrument, which is feeder cattle. Now, if this thing sits there and closes at the end of the week below 131, then the bullish trend will be officially over. However, it can't sit there and resume and come back and retest this high, so be very, very careful in betting on this thing going down. It's got to sit there and break a resistance level 147.23. If it does, it's going to resume its trend to the tops where it will retest the high and then have a potential breaking forward. So don't think that this is bearish trending right now, even though what you see from the daily is there. It doesn't mean that the long-term picture is that way at all. In fact, if you look here, we bounced off a major support, which is around 132.36. So if we break that support level, then we're definitely going to have the bullish trend is definitely over, and the major pullback's over, and it's undergauging a trend reversal basically. Lean hog, you could see here it's just basically a big gap down and then just gone bearing down, and you could see here it was in a range, and basically this is going out of the range. Now if you're not an options trader, I'll definitely be very careful trading any future product with this particular instrument, because look at the gaps here. This is definitely not worth it. Remember, this is a weekly time frame, so if you're a day trader or speculator, I'd definitely avoid lean hogs completely. Remember, these products here on the future side mainly being created for hedging, so they're using for hedging but nothing else at all. Copper here really is not really doing anything. It's kind of caught up between support resistance worlds right now. Minor support is going to be 37.20, resistance is going to be 42.25 moving forward. Okay, the major resistance is going to be 39.98 moving forward. If this thing does break its support levels here, okay, this thing does have a potential of tanking all the way back down to 3. So definitely keep an eye on this one moving forward. In fact, we'll just set an alert here just for our purposes, looking back at this one, because if it gets below that level here, the support level here, this thing does have a potential of tanking further. If it does get above 42.25, then this does have a potential of going into counter trend where it can sit there and go to 59.98, and then if it breaks that level, this thing can sit there and finally sit there and go to the enter a consolidation pattern and go to the top of the range. Heating oil, if you look here, this is starting to start a bullish trend to the top side. However, it's at a minor resistance level, a major one right now, which is at 295. However, this thing, I would be very, very careful. Even if this breaks out, this does not look like it's going to start a trend right now. The reason why is if you look at the weekly, we're not really doing anything except ranging, believe it or not. And this is one nasty range, as you can see. And the problem with this range here is that the highs have remained the same as far as long-term picture is concerned, but the weekly lows have been going lower and lower. So this is being established here as a major resistance level of 3.3075, but the support levels have been just changing and going down and down as time goes on. So I'll be very, very careful with this one right now. We are at a minor resistance level and does have a potential bouncing off that at 295 and then going all the way down to 2.7296, which is major support. And if it breaks that, this thing's going to go down to a whole new level downwards. Coffee, bearish trending as far as the weekly is concerned. It's gone for some major minor pullbacks here and medium pullbacks. Right now it's kind of stuck between two different between the support resistance world. Support basically is 171.15. Resistance is going to be 183.85. It's been a while since I've done these videos, so I'm getting a little rusty. Lumber. If you look at lumber, basically nothing going on. It's just ranging right now. Top of range is right there. Is at 296. Support basically is going to be at 283. If it sits there and breaks at 296, does have a possibility of starting a bullish trend moving forward. Live cattle, unlike the other two cattle meat industries, this one is actually bullish here. As you can see, they did a gap here. Really don't know what's going to do after this gap, even though it's kind of consolidating. But this thing just looks weak, really bad as far as the weekly is concerned. Now I know there's articles out there saying that all these meat future products they're going to sit there and go up, but definitely from the charts it doesn't look like that right now. And I would definitely wait and see exactly what happens in the charts before you speculate and go bullish on any of them right now. Natural gas, you could see, came all the way up here. Came up here to this high right here at 3.26, bounced off there, came down. Now it's basically, if you look at a weekly time frame, support level is going to be 2.723 moving forward. 259 is going to be the major one which it has to hold. If it does, then sits there and starts going back to 3.269. This thing does have a potential to finally ending its bearish sentiment as far as the long-term weekly picture is concerned. But it won't do that until it could get above this cloud completely, and that's going to be a while. If you look at the daily time frame, it's nice, a little bullish trend movement up here. However, it's engaging in a major pullback right now, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens between the daily and weekly. You got a lot of conflict that's going on. Orange juice, this is the one that we had on the multiple time frame signal to go bearish, and you can see why. If it breaks this support level here, this thing does have a potential of sitting there going down drastically. So I definitely would keep an eye on orange juice at 104.86. If it breaks that, it does have a potential of getting down to 97.10, and believe it or not, it does have the ability to sit there and break that, because we did have a major move up there. So it does have a potential of getting all the way down, believe it or not, to 80 or 76.80 or something like that. But 80 would be my best guess, which would be in the next level. So I would definitely keep an eye on this one. A lot of people think because of this huge movement down, they can't sit there and go another leg downwards. But believe it or not, it still can, because this weekly is very strong to the downside right now. And if it sits there and kind of consolidates, then it could change, but it hasn't really at all. Palladium, nothing really going on. It is bearish sentiment right now. It's got to break its major support level here at 555.46 moving forward. Resistance level is going to be basically 598 moving forward on this one. Platinum, nothing really going on here. As you can see from the weekly, we've been basically consolidating here. The consolidation pattern is being a downward consolidation pattern to a point. We are at a major support level at 1378. If we break that support level, this thing's going to sit there and start a trend to the downside, so definitely keep an eye on that one. Resistance is basically going to be 1436 moving forward. Natural gas, we already covered that. Gasoline, you're really not doing anything here. With a nice little movement up. We hit a major resistance level, which is at basically 2.94. Went down, hit it again, and the question is now, are we going to break it? We're kind of stuck between that resistance level at 2.9279 and our support level, which is basically 2.6988. So we're going to break one of those two in order for us to move forward. Sugar. Really nothing going on in sugar at all. Kind of retested this bottom here. Did a little blip where we went a little below it, but then we went back up above it. But really nothing going on as far as this is concerned. So nothing worth even mentioning. So we're going to keep on moving on. Gold. Here It looks like it's trying to start a bullish trend here. Gold is kind of stuck between a support resistance right now, and if it could break one of those two, they could definitely move forward. Resistance is going to be 1660. Support is going to be basically 1591. Now this thing has had a chance to sit there and break down. It hasn't. So this looks like it's trying to take its journey to 1660. So you could look on the lower time frames, such as daily and lower, and you can start looking for trade setups to basically go bullish. But remember to keep your risk very, very low, because you're doing a counter trend to 1660. Until we get a close above 1660, we're still going to be in counter trend mode. But I'll definitely look towards some buying opportunities as far as gold is concerned, moving forward. Not going in heavy, but with very slight small positions. Silver, it basically hit a triple bottom here. Really nothing going on. It's kind of stuck between two different support resistance worlds too. Basically support's going to be roughly right around here, which is going to be 27.41. Resistance is going to be 31.82 moving forward. 30-year Treasury bonds, nothing really going on. Bullish trending as far as this is concerned here. And you can see here from the daily time frame, it's just going sideways, so there's nothing really going on as far as that's concerned. Corn still going on with oomph all the way up. As you could see, it basically moved all the way from the bottom of its range to the top of the range. Now we're kind of stuck at the top of the range, so we kind of got to see exactly what's going to happen here. Remember, we're not listening to any news, we're just going from technical analysis. With technicals, they tell us basically it's at the top. Now it's got to see what happens. 5-year Treasury notes, this is bullish trending right now. We're at a major support level right now as far as the daily is concerned. We kind of bounced off there, which is right here at 2.40. Sorry, 124, 130. If it breaks that, the major support level is going to be 124, 042. Resistance is going to be 125 moving forward. Soybean oil, nothing really going on here. You could see this kind of took a break out of the clouds, had a chance to sit there and start a trend, got to the top of the range, never did that. It's basically consolidating in the downward pattern, which is not good for soybean oil at all. Soybean meal, on the other hand, is basically bullish trending. It's been bullish trending for a while, since the beginning of this year. It had a huge movement up over here, got overextended. Now it's kind of equalizing right now. I'm trying to get back to about 457, 459, which is its major support level. And at that point, we can see exactly what's going to happen there. 10-year Treasury notes, really nothing going on here. Excuse me. Stuck between resistance at 134, 200 and support at 131, 192. Alts futures, nothing really going on. Consolidating, you could see a downward consolidation pattern here, and you could see where it's getting top heavy here as far as a Kumo breakout here. So there's nothing really gone as far as oats concerned until it sits there and decides which way it really wants to go. Soybean meal, soybean futures, bullish trending as far as weekly is concerned. We're now going for a medium pullback as far as the daily is concerned. 1546 is a major support level. And minor resistance level is going to be basically 1675, sorry. And then lastly, wheat is basically bullish trending here. Really, we broke again just like the other corn did. Went for the bottom of the range, top of the range. Looked like we were about to break it, but we really haven't got a confirmation at all. And if you look at the daily time frame, we're kind of getting top heavy here, which is not good at all. So there's nothing really going on there. So definitely keep an eye on gold and silver. Gold mainly right now going bullish. It's not ready yet, but looks like potential. So is orange juice and a couple of other instruments out there. So those are the major ones right now as far as these are concerned. Now let's go look. So those are it. That's it. If you're looking for the U.S. stock market and so forth, you could sit there and go through. Let's just quickly go from here. If you look here for the E-mini S&P 500 futures, you can see that we're breaking out here. However, we got a lot of minor resistance levels here. So we're basically ranging as far as the futures are concerned for the E-mini S&P 500 futures. If you look at the Dow futures, Same thing. You notice the weeklies look exactly the same. So all we're trying to do in these future products right now is just trying to get back to the top of the range. And it looks like we're going to get to the top of the range. It's just a matter of when and if we engage in any more pullbacks. This market is pretty wild, and it will be until Labor Day, which is the beginning of September, but sometimes pretty much the trend can start towards the end of August or middle of August. So, as soon as option expiry is done, we can sit there and start a trend. So definitely keep an eye on it starting this month. As far as the NASDAQ futures, same thing, getting to the top of the range. So there's nothing really going on there at all. The markets are just trying to get to the top of the range right now, and that's all they're doing. When they get to the top of the range, it's going to be interesting exactly to see what happens here with these U.S. futures, especially with the elections coming around in November. That's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. We will follow up next week, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us here.